On this week's Q&A, we're going to talk about how to start your own prolonged fasting journey. Fasting is something that we each decide for ourselves. There is nobody that can talk us into it, and there is no amount of persuasion that is going to suffice if you want to fast for a longer periods of time, such as, I don't know, a week, 2, or maybe 3 weeks without food. So today we're going to talk about how you start fasting once you've already decided that you're going to do it. Now, in case we haven't met before, hi, my name is Basswood, and on this channel I talk about prolonged fasting. I help you through the journey, and it's been something that I have been doing for the past 28 years, so I have a trick or two up my sleeve. Well, not today, but in any case, let's go. Prolonged fasting, how do you start? Well, honestly, it's easiest if you have done it before. And I'm talking about how do you start your prolonged fasting, which is anywhere from 3 weeks, 6 weeks, or even a week. So that's a week without food. And if you have done any type of fasting before, like intermittent fasting, water fasting, some sort of juice fast, or even dry fasts, you will know what you're up against. So it is easiest to start if you know what your Thursdays are going to look like. And if you want to know, maybe it's a good idea to try one of those fasts, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So if you have never done this before, then just think about this. If you are sick and if you don't feel like eating, you are basically fasting. So every time that somebody has been sick, or if you are waiting for an operation and they don't allow you to eat any food for 24 hours before the operation, that's what happened to me, then you are fasting and you will know a little bit how you feel. But if you extend that period, the feelings change. But for now, let's just say it's easiest to start if you know what you're up against, if you have done it for a day or 24 hours or even 48 hours beforehand. The second thing is, how do you start, is that you know why you are doing it. Is, like I said, fasting is a very, very personal decision, and nobody can force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But if you do decide that you want to fast or be without food for, let's say, a longer period of time, such as a week or 2 weeks, then it's a good idea to know why you're doing it. And it could be curiosity, it could be weight loss, it could be for health reasons, it could be just because. But just make sure that your why you are doing it is strong enough that is going to guide you, and that you're going to be able to get through the hard days when the hunger is at the peak, when the cravings are battling or knocking on your door. Your why is going to help you get through those days or through those moments a lot easier. So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is you should decide on what kind of fast you are going to do. So there are a lot of methods of fasting. My personal favorite method, it's something that I have been doing from the first time that I've started when I was 18 years old, and that was the Broy's fasting method. And I just jumped right inside of it. So 2 days of preparing and I was in, and I didn't start eating again for 18 days. But that is the Broy's fasting method, which is a juice fasting method. But there are all sorts of fasting methods that you can try. So there are intermittent fastings, where when you are fasting for a specific amount of hours, and then you have water fasting, which is the most that you can do, is about 2 days or 48 hours, and then you have, let's see, alternate days of fasting method, when you fast for one day and then you eat the next day and then you fast for another day. And another method is also 5/2 method, where you eat for 5 days, and for 2 days you only eat about, I think, 500 calories per day. And then there is also my favorite method, which is Broy's method, which is a juice fasting method. And this method is so close to my heart, just because you are never hungry because of the vegetable juice that you drink. But more on that on another day, on another video. And what else? You should also decide, if you want to know how to start. Another decision that you should make is how long you're going to fast. Now, with intermittent fasting, you know that you will be fasting for hours. With water fasting, you can decide anywhere from a couple of hours to 2 days, I think. Then you have juice fasts, which are the longest that you can take them, is anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. My longest was 6 weeks. That is 42 days without food. So that this is another decision that is a good idea to make before you start your fast. What else? Yeah. The fifth thing that you should do before you start your fast is go and speak with your doctor, because your doctor is going to have your medical history, and maybe they will have some points regarding your health that you may not have been thinking about when you thought about fasting. So speak to your doctor and let them give you some pointers. And then there is one more thing that you need to do before you start your fast, and that is circle the date. That's it. And make sure that when you circle that date and when you decide how long you're going to fast, that in that fasting period there is nothing important on your calendar, like a business trip or a birthday or a vacation that you know that you will have. Those are a few pointers that I can give you to really think about how to start fasting. However, I have made an ebook that is going to guide you from all of the subjects that we discussed today, and even some more in-depth information that you can learn from that ebook. It's free, so you can download it from the link below. And also with that ebook comes a checklist of everything that it is good to do before you start your first fasting day. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patience, and I'll see you again in the next video.